You need to stop blogging this year. For most small businesses, it's not working anymore. Not because writing is useless, and not because Google is broken, but because the internet has changed. And most blogging advice hasn't. I've been building websites and working in digital marketing for over 20 years. I've worked on SEO campaigns that succeeded, and I've also watched small businesses spend months writing blog posts that almost nobody reads. In this video, I want to explain why blogging often fails today, and what actually works instead. So, let's get into it. Number 1, blogging is no longer a reliable traffic strategy. For years, small businesses were told the same advice: start a blog, post consistently, traffic will follow. That advice used to work, but today, most small business blogs receive little to no traffic, even when they publish regularly. The problem isn't effort, the problem is competition. The internet now contains billions of articles answering the exact same questions. Every topic has already been covered thousands of times. So when a small business publishes a new blog post today, it's entering an environment where the competition is no longer a few websites. It's the entire internet, and that changes everything. Number 2, the internet is saturated with blog content. One of the biggest reasons blogging is struggling today is simple: content saturation. 15 years ago, writing a blog post about a topic like how to improve website SEO could rank relatively quickly because there were fewer competitors. Today, that same search query returns millions of results, and many of those articles were written by large websites with dedicated editorial teams, strong domain authority, and years of accumulated trust with search engines. This creates a massive disadvantage for small businesses. Even if your blog post is helpful, Google often prefers to rank established websites first. That means many small business blogs end up publishing article after article that never receives meaningful visibility. The problem isn't effort. The problem is scale of competition. Number 3, AI has flooded Google with generic articles. The rise of AI tools has dramatically accelerated this problem. Today, anyone can generate dozens of blog posts in minutes using AI writing tools. As a result, the internet is now being flooded with mass-produced content that says almost the same thing. Google is fully aware of this. That's why recent algorithm updates increasingly prioritize original insight, real expertise, and first-hand experience rather than generic informational content. If a blog post simply repeats information that already exists on thousands of other pages, Google has little reason to rank it, and unfortunately that describes a large percentage of AI-generated blogs. The result is an internet where the volume of content keeps increasing, but the value often does not. Number 4, Google no longer needs your blog to answer questions. Another major shift is how Google itself delivers information. Search results used to show a list of websites. Today, many searches are answered directly inside Google through features like featured snippets, knowledge panels, AI summaries, and people also ask boxes. This means users often receive the answer without clicking on a website at all. From a user perspective, this is convenient. From a website owner's perspective, it means fewer clicks. So even if your blog ranks on page 1, it may receive far less traffic than it would have a few years ago. Google is increasingly becoming the destination itself rather than simply directing traffic to websites. Number 5, SEO blogging still works, but only in specific situations. Despite all of this, blogging is not completely useless, but it works very differently now. Blogging still performs well when it targets specific problems, niche expertise, or unique insights. For example, detailed case studies, tutorials based on real experience, or highly specialized topics can still perform well in search results. The key difference is that generic content rarely succeeds anymore. A blog post titled 10 Tips for Better Marketing is competing with millions of similar articles, but a post explaining a real project, real results, or a unique perspective has a much stronger chance of standing out. In other words, blogging today must be experience-driven, not information-driven. Number 6, most small business blogs fail because they lack strategy. Another issue I see frequently when working with clients is that blogging often happens without a clear strategy. A business launches a website and adds a blog section. Then they start publishing random articles, industry news, general tips, and occasional announcements, but there is no clear goal behind the content. Good content strategy requires understanding what your audience searches for, what problems they need solved, and what type of content leads to conversions. Without that strategy, blogging becomes an activity rather than a growth system, and eventually, most businesses abandon it because they see no results. Number 7. Google's AI results are replacing informational blog posts. The introduction of AI-generated summaries in search results is another major change. When someone searches for a question today, Google may display an AI summary that compiles information from multiple sources. For many informational searches, that summary satisfies the user's curiosity immediately. This directly affects the types of blog posts that used to perform well, especially simple informational articles. If your content exists primarily to answer a basic question, Google may now answer that question itself, which means the incentive to click your article becomes much smaller. This doesn't mean content is useless, but it does mean that basic informational blogging is becoming far less effective. Number 8. Authority content beats random blogging. Instead of publishing dozens of small articles, many successful websites now focus on authority content. Authority content is deeper, more comprehensive, and often built around real expertise. Examples include complete guides, original research, detailed tutorials, case studies, and expert insights. This type of content signals to both users and search engines that the author understands the subject at a deeper level, and that depth is becoming increasingly important in modern SEO. In many cases, one authoritative article can outperform dozens of short blog posts. Quality is replacing quantity. Number 9. Businesses should not completely stop writing content. The goal of this video isn't to say businesses should never publish content again. Content is still extremely valuable, but it needs to serve a purpose beyond simply filling a blog page. Content today works best when it supports a broader strategy, such as educating potential customers, demonstrating expertise, answering specific client questions, and supporting products or services. When content is aligned with business goals, it becomes far more valuable than random blog posts created only for SEO. Number 10. The smart content strategy for now and the future. The businesses that succeed online today are shifting their approach. Instead of trying to win by publishing hundreds of articles, they focus on high-impact content. That may include YouTube videos, expert guides, educational resources, case studies, and authority pages. This type of content is harder to produce, but it creates much stronger signals of credibility and expertise. And in a world filled with generic content, those signals matter more than ever. In other words, success online is no longer about publishing more content. It's about publishing better content. Blogging isn't dead. But the way most businesses were taught to blog is. Publishing random articles and hoping Google sends traffic simply doesn't work the way it used to. The businesses that succeed today focus on something very different. They focus on expertise, authority, useful content, and real insights. The kind of content that actually helps people solve real problems. In other words, the strategy isn't to publish more, it's to publish less, but make it matter far more. Because in today's internet, the winners aren't the ones producing the most content. They're the ones producing the most valuable content. And if you would like more tips on running a smooth, profitable web design business, please like this video and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any valuable tips. My name is Fabio Peters. Until next time, take care.